Metal screams as the ground splits, and a town on wheels is a massive wall of machinery rises from the dust, an entire city advancing, devouring everything in its path without slowing. Inside the fleeing town, engines ignite too late. The ground trembles harder, and something clamps onto the rear like jaws. Above the chaos, crowds cheer from balconies inside the Predator city, watching the capture like a festival. The smaller town is lifted, crushed, and pulled inward piece by piece. Its streets vanish into grinding darkness. Deep inside the larger city, conveyors drag survivors through narrow corridors, stripping them of anything useful. A hidden blade glints beneath cloth. One survivor moves differently, focused, waiting, not afraid. A high-ranking figure arrives, inspecting captured goods with calm precision. No one questions his authority. Without warning, the survivor lunges. The blade strikes, and the entire corridor freezes in shock. The man staggers, stunned, not by the wound, but by a name whispered too close to his ear. A bystander reacts instinctively, grabbing the attacker before she can strike again. The moment breaks. She slips free and runs. The chase begins instantly, disappearing into a maze of metal and steam. The pursuer follows, unsure why he's chasing, but unable to stop. The path leads somewhere dangerous. They reach a collapsing section where the city dumps its waste. The floor gives way beneath them. She falls first, vanishing into the void. A hand catches her, just for a second too long. Her face is exposed, marked, deliberate, unforgettable. She speaks a truth that doesn't belong here. Then she lets go on purpose. The fall takes her, and silence follows. Moments later, the authority figure arrives. No hesitation, he pushes the witness after her. The city continues moving as if nothing happened. Above, the engines roar louder than before. Far below, in a field of broken metal, two bodies land, alive, but somewhere the city never meant to reveal. The silence breaks with shifting metal beneath them. The ground here isn't stable, it moves, as if something underneath is still alive. He wakes disoriented, calling out, but she's already gone, his pockets lighter, his direction stolen. Ahead, she moves fast despite the fall. Survival matters more than alliances, and she refuses to look back. He follows anyway. Not out of trust, out of necessity. The city is gone, and this wasteland offers nothing alone. Night falls quickly. Shapes move at the edge of vision, circling them without sound. The attack comes fast, figures rushing from all sides. No warning, no voices, just hands grabbing. Before it ends, a distant engine roars. Lights cut through the chaos, scattering the attackers instantly. They are pulled into the vehicle, doors slammed shut. For a moment, it feels like rescue. Inside, everything is too calm. Too organized. The doors lock from the outside. She treats a wound in silence, ignoring his questions. Whatever she's running from is still closer than he thinks. Hours later, the vehicle shifts direction. Not toward safety, toward something controlled. He finds an exit beneath the floor, hidden but reachable. It's their only chance. She refuses at first, too injured to jump. But staying means something worse. They try anyway. The drop is sudden, uncontrolled, and not far enough. They're caught before they can run. Not rescued, captured again, just by someone new. This time, they're taken somewhere louder. A place where people gather not to survive, but to buy. Hands inspect them like objects. Prices are whispered. The system here is older than the cities. Just before a deal is made, a shot cuts through the air. Everything stops again. A lone figure steps forward, claiming them without hesitation. No negotiation, no explanation. The chaos resumes, but now in their favor. They're pulled free and forced to run again. It doesn't last long. A heavy impact lands behind them, something faster than before has arrived. The figure moves without hesitation, closing distance with mechanical precision. It isn't hunting randomly, it's tracking her. She recognizes it instantly. Whatever she ran from before, it finally caught up. Another shot echoes. The rescuer returns, intercepting the pursuit just long enough. They're forced into a new vehicle, faster, louder, airborne this time. The ground disappears beneath them. From above, the moving city looks smaller, but more dangerous. It isn't just consuming land. It's searching. She finally speaks, fragments of a past tied to the man she tried to kill. A betrayal buried deeper than revenge. He listens, realizing the attack wasn't random. It was unfinished. The aircraft descends toward a hidden settlement in the sky, quiet, organized, and watching everything. They land among others who already know more than they should. The moving city isn't their only concern. A hidden project is revealed, something being built inside the city, piece by stolen piece. He connects the fragments. The weapon isn't new, it's something that ended the world once before. And if it's completed, the moving city won't need to hunt anymore. It will erase everything instead. Back inside the city, the authority figure recovers. His next move isn't defensive, it's acceleration. Orders are given quietly. Anyone who knows too much is no longer useful. Back in the sky settlement, a plan forms, but it relies on something missing, something only she might have. She doesn't reveal it yet. Not until she's certain who to trust. Below, the city changes course. It's no longer chasing, it's heading somewhere specific. And wherever it's going, it plans to end the need for survival entirely. The truth settles in, they're not running from a predator anymore. They're racing against a final strike. The sky settlement erupts into motion as alarms echo. Whatever the city is targeting, it's close enough to strike soon. Aircraft launch one after another, engines screaming against the thin air. There's no time left for debate. She finally reveals what she's been hiding, a small object tied to everything the city is building. It's not a weapon, but it can stop one. And that makes her the most valuable target alive. They lift off into a sky already filled with distant movement. The city is coming faster than expected. Ahead, a massive barrier stretches across the horizon, immovable, silent, their only line of defense. The moving city doesn't slow. Its upper tiers shift, revealing something hidden beneath its structure. Energy builds inside the city, unnatural, unstable. The air itself seems to distort around it. The first strike hits the barrier. Light tears across its surface, and the impact shakes everything in range. The barrier holds, but only partially. Cracks spread, and time becomes measured in seconds. They push forward through incoming fire. The sky turns into a battlefield with no clear direction. One by one, Allied aircraft fall. The path narrows, forcing them closer to the city itself. They rise above the city's upper layers. The entry point is exposed, but heavily defended. She jumps first, landing hard against metal that shifts beneath her feet. He follows seconds later, barely holding onto the edge as the aircraft veers away. Inside, the corridors are empty, but not abandoned. Systems are already set in motion. They split paths without discussion. There isn't time to stay together anymore. He heads toward the engine core. If the city keeps moving, everything ends faster. She moves upward, toward the control systems, and the man who started this. The weapon charges again. A second strike will finish what the first couldn't. She reaches the control room just as the countdown begins. There's no margin left. The device in her hand fits, but not easily. The system resists, forcing her to override manually.